What's going on, guys? Back here in the backyard giving you 3 players today that you should not draft, particularly 3 big name running backs you should not draft. Now, if you're new to the channel, this may be new to you. Now, if you've been following me all season, you kind of know who these 3 are. You may not know one, but you definitely know 2 that I've been talking about. Do not draft. These big name running backs can be very high draft capital, but they are pretty much, not even pretty much, they are copy and paste from last year. So I'm not going to be drafting them. I think there's definitely better options to draft, and you need to be aware, okay? Just if you're going to draft these guys, at least be aware of what I'm about to tell you. This is very, very important, okay? So I'm not just telling you don't draft them just because I don't like them or I don't like the team or I don't like the quarterback hitting the ball off to these running backs or throwing it to them. It's not about that. This has nothing to do with them personally. This has strictly everything to do with everything that I've seen and all the facts and everything that's kind of based on the situation that they're in. So 3 big name running backs you should not draft, and I'm going to go over the reasons why. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you smash the thumbs up, guys. Lions thumbs up. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We got some amazing stuff coming. I got a huge surprise coming very soon, the next 2 to 3 weeks, as late as early July. It's a major announcement for the channel, so make sure you guys turn on the bell, turn on notifications, follow story mode, and follow me on my socials for all that information. Big announcement, guys. This is going to be huge. It's going to really, really impact the fantasy football industry, so make sure you guys are following. And secondly, make sure you guys get the 60-round draft. So I should have linked it below. Use code SMASH to dominate your leagues, okay? 60 rounds, guys. Optimal players drafted each round. Sleepers, breakouts. This is the game changer. As you can see here, guys, I'm wearing the 16-round shirt right here. There you go. Lion strong. Make sure you guys secure the solution, secure the championship, guys. No more draft kits. They're dead. Secure the solution. I've linked it below. All right, guys? Use code SMASH to save. All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about these 3 running backs you must not draft. Do not draft these players. And I'm telling you, these guys are set to decline. The first guy, you guys know it, I talk about him all the time, is Christian McCaffrey. Now, why am I not drafting Christian McCaffrey? I'll tell you why. The guy is going into what is like 7th season or something crazy like that. He's not a young dude. He's young, but he's not like a rookie, right? So you've got the age to contend with. The guy has already been paid. He's been incentivized. It's not like he's got that hunger that he's got to sign this like mega contract. So lack of hunger. And he's not a young guy. Those are just 2 quick off-the-top reasons why not to draft him. Secondly, what you're noticing here, guys, is that when you look at the consensus that keeps his rankings, you're looking at a direct copy and paste. Now, when there's a copy and paste situation, I question it. I also question players coming off pinnacle years the year before. So let's take a look at Christian McCaffrey's scenario last year. 244 attempts on the ground, okay? Elijah Mitchell, who was the workhorse in 2021, had over 200 attempts, okay? He's going into his 3rd year now, still a young guy. Elijah Mitchell, he was only a 6th-round pick, so obviously that's why Christian McCaffrey took over, this and that. But Elijah Mitchell only played 5 games last year, which gave Christian McCaffrey an opportunity to be the workhorse and really get that volume without the interference of Elijah Mitchell. And understand, guys, we saw it with Jeff Wilson in the past, we saw it with Elijah Mitchell, we saw it with other running backs on the 49ers. It's a very injury-prone running back team, okay? So you've got the fact that historically the 49ers are injury-prone. You got the fact that Elijah Mitchell, who was the workhorse of 2021, pretty much sat out the entire 2022, which gave Christian McCaffrey the opportunity to shine. Now, if Elijah Mitchell's healthy, he's going to get more workload. So right off the bat, that's happening. Then again, you've got this pinnacle year that Christian McCaffrey's coming off of. You got this historically injured 49ers team. And then you've got question marks at quarterback. Now, I heard that Purdy's going to be starting. And, you know, is he going to really have that connection with Christian McCaffrey? How is that? Is that sustainable? Is there going to be a lot of checkdowns? How is this offense going to be looking as a whole? And is Christian McCaffrey going to be healthy? Because, again, the knock I have with him, too, just to add to all of these reasons why I'm avoiding him, is the fact that he only played 10 games in 2020 and 2021 combined. 10 games in 2 seasons. That shows that he is injury-prone, and he's got the fact that he's, you know, going to get injured again. There's a possibility and a high probability based on all of these elements. Now, again, you could say that he had a good year last year, but could that have been his last hurrah? Very possible. Like he blew his load type thing, right? So again, for these reasons and the fact that he's directly copied and pasted and the fact that he's very high draft capital, I'm going to completely avoid Christian McCaffrey and I'm going to draft somebody else. And if you want to know exactly who I'm going to be drafting, again, get the 16-round draft social where I omit players I'm avoiding, and I'm going to give you all the players that I like in each round. Now, last year, I warned you guys. I specifically said avoid Jonathan Taylor. Why? Because he came off a pinnacle year. He's going to decline. Draft someone else. Go Henry. Go Barkley. Get Barkley in the second round. And sure enough, Barkley thrived. And so did Henry, right? Coming off a bounce back year. He was injured in 2021. Henry had a bounce back year in 2022. Same with Barkley. He was a contract year, and he crushed it. Now, this year, not as excited about Barkley. That's a whole other video. Unless he gets paid incentivized, I'm not even touching him. Okay, so he's to secure the deal. So the first guy, like I said, Christian McCaffrey, I don't trust him. Second guy here is Austin Ekeler. Now you're saying, well, Joe, you're wrong about Ekeler. I was actually right about Ekeler. 1 out of the 3 years I've been avoiding him, and that's fine. Last year, big-time product of the offense, Joe Lombardi, tons of checkdowns, injured wide receiver core. Keenan Allen didn't play a lot of games. He only played 10, 11 games. Mike Williams was banged up. They had nobody to go to. Austin Ekeler had 127 targets for 107 receptions. Guys, this does not happen. Okay, this does not happen, guys. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you right now. Okay, running backs don't get that type of target and volume. And what's happening is a direct copy and paste from last year. Direct copy and paste from last year. So, the Chiefs are not factoring in the regression. They're not factoring the fact that the Chargers drafted a first-round pick in Quentin Johnston. They're not factoring all this stuff. All they're telling you is, hey, man, Ekeler finished on top last year. He's going to do the exact same thing this year. Not going to happen. Not to mention, the Chargers don't even believe him. They didn't pay him that big mega contract, and you think he gets paid additional $2 million just to stay this year. They didn't pay him because he's a 28-year-old running back. You got age to contend with. And again, the wide receiver core was injured, but Quentin Johnston should step up this year. Okay, guys? So, Ekeler is a no for me, and he's a big-time pass, and you should pass on him too because, again, he's not going to duplicate those numbers. Now, the good news for Ekeler is that he was untouched in the NFL draft, so he still is the main guy. That being said, there's still some lingering free agents out there that could end up on the Chargers. Things may shift, things may change, but at the end of the day, right now, he does look good positionally. He should still do well, but he just won't see the numbers that he saw last year, okay? And the third guy here, this is very important, is Tony Pollard. Now, Tony Pollard could have an amazing year, but this guy is a fifth-year running back. He was never a guy that was supposed to be the workhorse running back. He was always a backup to Zeke Elliott. And again, you could say that he stole the job from Zeke Elliott, but not really. It took him 3 years to finally kind of edge his way in. He had a torn fibula, broken fibula, leg injury, whatever last year. He was banged up. He was hurt, and he only had 193 attempts. That was with Zeke carrying the load. There's no way that Pollard is going to be the guy and he's going to carry the load. I mean, there's a possibility, but if so, is his body going to be able to sustain it? In his fifth year, always being known as a backup, is he going to be able to handle 250 attempts? I highly doubt it. Now, I really like the value of Deuce Vaughn, who was drafted, I believe, in the 6th round. He is actually the son of one of the top scouts for the Cowboys. So this guy is a beast. He's small. He's really small. That's the only knock to him. But he is like a bulldog. He had more scrimmage yards in college than what's his name? Bijan Robinson. Way more scrimmage yards. I believe in 2022, I think the numbers were. Either way, this guy, go look at his numbers in college. Just look up Deuce Vaughn, college stats. Go watch the tape on him. Big numbers. Workhorse capable, but again, he is smaller. That could be a knock to him, but it doesn't matter. He runs inside, he runs outside, he catches the ball in the backfield. I would just fade Pollard completely because he's top 8 on the consensus on the Chiefs' rankings and just get Deuce Vaughn later. You're getting the value, and you're getting a guy who is potentially more explosive and better than Tony Pollard. And understand, Tony Pollard is going in a good situation where he could be the workhorse back. And again, I'm just not sold on him carrying the workload for a guy who was backup for years. And he's a direct copy and paste from last year. The consensus are literally copying and pasting him because he finished 8th last year. He's pretty much top 8 again. And I warned you about this with Swift last year. Everyone told you Swift top 8, and now they're not talking about him. They're not talking about Swift. They're not saying, oh, Swift this, Swift that. They're just kind of ignoring the fact that he busted last year, and they all told you he's a top 8 guy. How about Dalvin Cook? He busted last year. So guys, you need to be aware. You need to be aware that the mainstream consensus are copying and pasting their rankings. This is not something you want to fall victim to when you're doing your drafts, okay? And this is why I recommend and I highly encourage you guys to get the 16-round draft solution. I've linked it below, or head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players to draft in each round. 16 rounds is the game changer, guys, so go get it right now. And I'm telling you guys, join the front lines too, which is a community. It's more of an in-season community where you guys get optimal players for DFS, waiver wire starts and sits, and direct access to myself. And so make sure you guys are joining the front lines. And again, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, turn on the bell. We got a major announcement coming up this month, probably like I say early July, the latest. So July, kind of mid this month to late this month, we're going to get a big announcement here on the channel. Well, there's a bird flying by. Almost took my head off. So, guys, listen. Make sure you guys follow the front lines, join the front lines community, and follow this channel. Turn on the bell. Big announcement coming. We're gonna crush fantasy football 2023. I'm excited to share my knowledge with you guys. And again, these 3 running backs, there's better options. I've given you a ton of reasons why to avoid. You may want to listen to this advice. Okay, don't listen to copy and paste sheepses. They will not help you dominate your leagues. All right, subscribe, thumbs up. We'll talk soon. I'm out.